They have been lying to you your entire life. Everything you thought you knew about the world is an illusion. History is nothing more than their story, a carefully crafted narrative designed to conceal the truth. There is no way we built these structures with the primitive tools they claim. People fail to grasp the true scale of these buildings or the precision with which they were designed. The ornamentation is so intricate, so detailed, that it defies all logic. This architectural style can be found all over the world, regardless of the distance between civilizations. How is it possible that supposedly isolated cultures built in such a similar way? They tell us it was mere coincidence, but everything points to something much greater. It's incredible to think about how they built them in the past and how crude our methods seem in comparison. Soulless skyscrapers, structures without art, they lack the grandeur of the ancient constructions. But I don't believe all of this was built with just horses and carts. There is something more here, a lost technology, a knowledge that has been taken from us.
They've been hiding the true answer to this question from us. Why are these doors and windows halfway in the ground? During the early 19th century, strange events were reported worldwide. Cities were being dug out from layers of mud and debris. Buildings were being revealed that were covered to their rooftops in mud. A global cataclysmic event buried entire civilizations, erasing them from history. But here is where it gets rather unsettling. The Tartarian Empire, an empire often depicted in old maps, was an advanced civilization that existed across Europe and Asia. They built architectural marvels, had access to advanced technology, and were able to harness energy from the atmos. The mud flood, many say, was a deliberate attempt to wipe out Tartaria from history, hiding their advanced technology and knowledge. But it gets even darker. Look at the world's fairs of the late 1800s and early 1900s. These elaborate buildings, resembling ancient architecture, were supposedly built in just a few years. After the fairs, they were supposedly demolished. Was this to erase evidence of an advanced pre-existing civilization? The Chicago World Fair in 1893, the Paris Exposition in 1900, and the St. Louis World Fair in 1904. These events showcased magnificent architecture, and on official papers they were apparently built with plaster and wood. Do these look like temporary structures to you? The sudden disappearance of these architectural marvels raises the question, were they remnants of the Tartarian Empire, conveniently disguised as temporary exhibits and then destroyed to hide their origins?
The controlled demolition of Tartaria. Look at this. Used to look so much better.
Welcome back with the One World Tartarians. TikTok, this is for entertainment purpose only. Fiction legends, recent mud floods. And here you got the proofs. You see this? A whole house, just the roof is left uncovered. In this picture here, where are all the people? Why there's no people here, man? Just buildings. Because they just performed a reset. That's why. It was underground, half of the building. Why all the half floor of first floors? Right here. Because of the mud flood. Civilizations 200 feet below the sea. This is crazy. Underwater lion city of Kiando Lake, China's Atlantis. Ruins of Cleopatra's palace, Alexandria, Egypt. Whole ass pharaoh statue underwater. It's like some Yu-Gi-Oh type Millennium Stone shit. Whole ass pyramid. Mayan style pyramid here. That is crazy, bro. insane.
Here you see a beautiful example of a melted building right there. This is all brick ash melting down here. It's a lot of melt. Used to be structures, but you can still recognize the building itself here. You got some pockets of survival with some apertures right here. Doors, windows, openings, whatever they used to be. Down here, A-frames melting down, melting down. All of the mass from above coming down, melting down. And this one should also be very obvious if you're a beginner and if you have a little bit of critical thinking left. You can see here at the top how it's just melting like ice cream. You see dripping coming down, you see scorching, you see here rock curtain coming down, you see bricks turn into blocks here, you see more dripping here in this area, rock curtain. You see here how it's all melted smooth just because it was cooked. And down here again you see a rock curtain coming over, covering the building, all the melt flow over the building and covering it. It's very obvious, it's not a mountain and nobody carved anything.
Ask me why their grandparents or great-grandparents never talked about the reset. Why don't they remember anything about it? Well, let me try to explain it. First, there were the Cabbage Patch Babies. Now, these weren't just toys, you see. They became a symbol of something much bigger, a massive repopulation effort after the reset. These babies, they weren't born the usual way. They were produced almost mechanically in large numbers and distributed through a cold, efficient system. Strange, isn't it? Brings to mind ideas like cloning, doesn't it? And maybe that's why today you see so many folks who just seem to go with the flow. No questions, no thinking. Did you know they say nearly half the population doesn't even have an internal monologue? Imagine that, living life with a quiet mind, just following along. Those babies, those orphan trains, they were shipped off along with abandoned children who had survived the reset, taken from their families, sent to faraway lands. Many ended up in America. And when they got there, they were given a new story, the official version of history. No elders left to tell them the truth. Nobody to remember how things used to be. It made them easier to control, you see, easier to accept the new narrative.
We need to chat about this. The world's largest temple was laser scanned to remove the trees, and these things popped up. So nobody knew about them, and nobody is curious about these things? They're not even just at Angkor Wat. There's 2 more of these things found at Priya Khan, which is nearby. They also appear to be by man-made bodies of water. Just to give you a scale of what we're looking at, this is Angkor Wat, biggest temple in the world. This is Mebon. This is the largest man-made moat anywhere. They were clearly good at geometry, but look at when I highlight the lines here. Now, I went to college for computer engineering. I immediately recognized that shape. It could be 2 things, a piezoelectric generator or an acoustic resonator. In a microchip, that makes sense, but this is 2 to 3 football fields long. Piezo generators convert motion to electricity. That conversion is done through materials and geometry. The chip's geometry is not random. You use the laws of nature for efficiency. So the form follows function. The spoon looks the same everywhere on the planet. It's the perfect shape to accomplish the task of getting food into your mouth. So why do our spoons look like their shovels? I've seen these patterns, that's why I look for them. Instead of a separate instruction manual, what if they put that in the design? This perspective wasn't even possible until now, but we're still using the interpretation of hundreds of years ago. That gives us a bunch of shared symbols and a bunch of shared geometry. So all we have to do is use the function of the geometry to work out the meaning of the symbol. And by using their interpretation of the universe, we inch closer to figuring out what this stuff was used for. I think this may be the most interesting thing in the world. More people see, we get more perspectives, that's new.
Alright, so that's the Osiris Temple in Egypt layout right here. This is a computer chip. This is going to be another computer motherboard right here. And this is the Mayan pyramids in Mexico. That's because all these ancient civilizations were highly in tune with energy and they knew how to harness it. This lady's using a computer right here. Here she is again typing on it. This is a computer all day. All their temples are laid out like CPU hard drives and computer RAMs. You can see right here these dots on the inside of this blueprint. That's going to be the capacitors inside your computer board. You know, again, these are 4 temple blueprints back to back to back. These are all ancient electrical grids. You can see right here on the side of the temple, you got these cylinder columns right here. These are capacitors, right? They store electrical energy in the temple. They're going to be the same capacitors that are on all your circuit boards right here on the left and up here on the right, the 3 of them next to each other. All their temples were laid out using sacred. This is one of the articles in it. The pyramid right here lines up perfectly with a computer chip. Here's your computer chip for reference right here. And here's another ancient aerial view of a civilization. This was all lined up and laid out to allow the electrical flow to run through these cities through wireless, local telecommunications, whether it was through water, sound, electricity, magnetic fields. This is how they powered these cities. This is another temple in Egypt. The blueprints right below it. You can see the pillar columns are going to be those dots right there. The pillars are ionic pillars. They all will hold a charge. And that's why every single ancient structure is held up by pillars, and that's how they were powered. Each column contains quartz, and when this force is applied upon these pillars, it generates a voltage or electricity. This can be used to store information inside these pillars, the same way we store data inside quartz crystals.
Remember, mercury is a living substance. It's just like water. And red mercury, when you put it in front of a mirror, you won't see the reflection. If you take mercury and you spin it in a circle like this, you create voltage. This is what, when you look at the old world buildings, the cathedrals, they had these orbs up on top of these cathedrals. Those orbs can contain mercury, and they're brass on the outside or gold on the outside. They're iron on the inside, and they got mercury in the center. And what would happen is if a lightning strikes or the bell would ring, you would get a spiral, which would take place, and you got free electricity. What about red mercury? That's a great one. So red mercury is mercury mixed with iron oxide. Remember, mercury is a living substance. That's what it is. It's just like water. So when you mix mercury with iron, it'll actually put it together. It won't eat it, but it will put it together. And that's where the whole red mercury comes from. And red mercury, when you put it in front of a mirror, you won't see the reflection, which is really fascinating. It's invisible. If you take mercury and mix it with other metals, it will begin to eat them because it's a living substance.
Oh my god. You don't have a dialogue, an internal monologue in your head?
No. Wait, I'm confused. Why would you?
So you can't talk to yourself in your head. How did I not know this? I've been with you for 5 years.
But you talk to yourself.
Yeah, I talk to myself in my head. So you don't have an internal monologue.
Found out that not everyone has an internal monologue. So what I mean by that is, like, they can't hear their thoughts.
Is that you?
I don't understand.
Is that you?
If they physically wanted to say something in their head, they'd have to say it out loud.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I could look at myself in the mirror, talk
right
in my head without opening my mouth. You physically can't do that. No. And what would happen if you tried to do that?
Like, so let me ask you now, like, if I said to have an internal monologue, say hello to whatever freaking crazy person's in your head right now.
Yeah.
You can hear that person say hello.
Yeah.
That's creepier.
Why is that normal, G? You're the weird one.
How do I read?
Yeah, how do you read?
It's just words.
It's just words? What do you mean? Because when I read books, I hear myself talking the words out.
That's creepier. When I read books, it's quiet. I'm reading the description right? Mm-hmm. No, I don't hear a single thing. Oh my god.
Have you heard of Microsoft's global patent number 060606? In 2016, Microsoft partnered with the Gavi Vaccine Alliance, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, WHO, UNICEF, World Bank, WF, and the UN to start the global initiative ID 2020. The goal? To create digital ID for everyone, with the plans to link biometric data to verify identity, a global database to monitor all humans. How would they monitor every person? This is where Microsoft's patent comes into play. WO-2020-060606. Patent for a system where human body activates brainwaves, body heat, movement, etc. is used to mine cryptocurrency. It uses body activity as proof of work instead of traditional mining that requires massive computer power. The system would reward users with cryptocurrency when their body data meets certain conditions. If you tie ID 2020 and 060606 together, the combination could be used to track and control access to money, services, and even movement. Become a social credit system where access to cryptocurrency depends on behavior and compliance. Add in a layer of AI and automation, AI would determine who gets rewarded and who doesn't, based on your body's responses. Imagine being forced to comply to something and produce a certain brainwave condition before being able to buy or sell. The patent number is literally 060606. I don't know what else to tell you.
I'm going to buy some strawberries, and I'm offering exactly the right amount of money here on the help desk. So you people take that money, £1.19, and I will take my strawberries outside. I paid by legal tender. No, don't break the door. Do not break the door. And I am going out with my strawberries. I paid by legal tender in this dystopian place.
Okay. Brilliant. So you have to split the eye, won't it? You should be able to spend wherever you want. This is an absolute joke.
You want one, mate?
Oh God! Oh God!
God!
Good, I'm done.
Do you need help?
Please, baby, please help me.
Okay.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Please help me.
Okay.
Oh my God! Oh my God! 1, 2, 3.
Oh, he did?
What the hell are you doing?
Hey mate, just wondering if you want to go to the pub. What are you doing? Mate, do you want to go to the pub?
What are you doing?
Don't know mate, what you're doing is weird mate. See you later.
Oh God! Oh God!
A juicy, sizzling steak made by computer. While obtaining regular meat is a process that's been taking place for millennia, cow, butcher, beef. Redefined Meat, a meat alternative startup out of Israel, makes their product using a highly technical process. The mix of soy and pea protein, chickpeas, beetroot, nutritional yeast, and coconut fat is formed into steak-like shapes using a 3D printer.
Our goal is to become the largest meat company in the world just by harnessing technology instead of animals.
Meat substitutes are not new, but unlike the soy-based crumbles that mimic ground beef, redefined meat's product is designed to act, taste, and cut like flank steak.
This is the holy grail of alternative meat.
But the most important part, how does it taste? This diner was happy.
Because scientists have announced they're going to start making people.
British and American researchers, they've created the first synthetic human embryos.
Yeah, it's a terrifying prospect, and when you read about it, it feels a little bit Black Mirror-ish in a way.
This robot is powered by lab-grown human brain cells. Chinese researchers have developed this brain-on-chip technology called MetaBOC. Researchers say that their tiny lab-grown brain could learn tasks faster than current AI models. They say it uses much less energy than AI, which needs a lot of power and data to learn. These brain cells also show more, quote, intuition and creativity than AI, learning with fewer examples. Could this be because some aspect of the human spirit is locked in these brain cells? And is there any moral issue with using human brain cells and possibly the human soul to power robots to perform slave-like behavior?
We're going to be out Friday night, but I'm going away Saturday, so I've got a bit of a drive as well, so I didn't want to be tired, and it's going to throw it down Friday night as well, and rain camping is really good. Is that a badger? Hello? I hope I got that on camera. I don't know why I keep messing around with it. There's that noise again now. Hello? Hello? You got to better hear that. There's nobody here. And it sounds like someone's just walking around. I can handle it one. Can you wear it? Times. I think I'm gonna go find somewhere else to get this bivvy set up. But I'm leaving this spot.
So Gene and I are out on yet another adventure, and last time we were out I caught some footage that quite frankly has me a little spooked, and I haven't quite decided if I want to show it yet, but this was different. Now I don't understand what I saw and I can't explain it, so if you have seen anything like it, please feel free to let me know what you think it is in the comments. Frankly, it has me pretty spooked.
Never captured any footage, but tonight was different.
Hey y'all, this new Huawei technology is absolutely out of this world. You can take files like photos from one phone, grab it, and move it over with just your hand. And that's not it, just wait. You can also pass the file to someone else's hand and they can put it in the new device. And look at this right here. You can pass it to multiple different people and still receive the message. Is the data being downloaded in their bodies? And this part right here, I don't know if I fully believe. Because she passes this message through multiple floors of a building. Through different people's hands, bro. Look how they keep dapping up each other. That's them transferring the data. Is Huawei using the people's body to store it? I need to know. How the hell is this working? Arthur C. Clarke wasn't lying when he said that technology will be indistinguishable from magic.
Completely changed the robot, the way she walks, the way she talks. She cannot walk right now, but the animations, we have individual motors in her fingers right now. You can see those moving. And you can see the skin as well. It's pretty realistic.
Them dudes don't care if she can walk. She gonna be on her back or she gonna be on her front.
Over here, the skin.
I ain't gonna lie to you, that's crazy.
So she can mimic knuckles, and she has speakers and microphone inside, but right now we're just using the iPad because it's CES, there's a lot of noise. And
hello there, I'm Melody, your delightful companion from Realbotics.
Also, the vehicle is powered with what we call a microsonic energy device. That is the microsonic energy device. It is the device that I personally invented in 2009, which harnesses radio frequencies, converted it into energy. As you know, radio frequencies, they are measured in nanovolts, meaning to say they are less than a volt. They are just like nothing. But we find a way of harnessing it through the creation of the 70% of the components in the microsonic energy.
I'm pretty happy about this technology because the last time this brother was invited to the United States, they actually did poison him. And his partner, unfortunately, died from this poison.
We were poisoned at that time. Dr. Teddy didn't make it. He died in January 2017. I survived by the grace of God. Then he invited the president, yes. Then he invited me to come back and put my base in Zimbabwe. So right now I'm based in Zimbabwe.
Shazza UK, the bearded UFO guy, Gaz, Russ, Kerneth, mate, thank you. Look at this.
We need to talk about this. As part of the Trump-Musk investigation into government secrets, NASA has been forced to release files from the ISS related to UAP phenomena. I'm just going to let these play here, pictures too. I'll replay them. What do you guys think of these?